Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to another lap time challenge on Gran Turismo 7. Today we are racing on Grand Valley in the Honda S2000. We are on comfort soft tires and the current world record is a 212.6 that leads us to beat a 216.6. So let's get on track and try to beat this one. So starting into your lap, to me it felt a bit easier to position the car to the very right hand side of the track to have a good entry into the first left-hander and have a straight line for braking. So from the right hand side of the track, go over to the left and keep it narrow to the inside of the left-hander. The first brake marker is around 350 meters. Brake hard in a straight line and go for late downshifts to keep stability in the car. Then go down to second in the right-hander to get some more rotation, try to keep it a bit more narrow than I did, early upshift to third and as early as possible back to the power using all the width of the track for acceleration. Now downhill, keep it narrow for this left-hander and then upshift to fifth gear, and shortly after you pass this shadow on the tarmac, just lift the acceleration pedal and let the car coast through this right-hander, going for delayed apex, and as soon as you straighten up, go fully back to the power, full throttle through this left-hander, and the next brake marker is either when you pass the 400 meter board or the tree on the right leaves your screen. Brake again hard in a straight line, late downshifts, then turn in, and while you're in the corner or shortly before that, go to second gear and try to keep it as narrow as possible to the inside. And at the exit of the corner, gently back to the power to avoid power oversteer. Now up to third gear and over to the right hand side of the track. When passing the 100 board, just lift the pedal again and let the car coast. Now for the difficult part, while you're in the corner, gently press the brake pedal and let the car slide a little to go for this left-hander, then back to the power, trying to keep it as close to the inside of this left-hander. Now again going into this right-hander, keeping it close to the inside. And when you straighten up on this one, short brake input and down to second gear, trying to coast into this right-hander, it might slide a bit. Short power input before braking again for this left-hander, trying to keep it narrow, let the car coast through the corner and then back to the power cautiously to avoid power oversteer. Up to third gear, now keep third gear and the next brake marker will be shortly before the 100 board. Brake hard in a straight line again and go for the late downshift to second gear. The car again might slide a little, so be prepared for a counter steer reaction, and then gently back to the power to avoid power oversteer. Then full throttle shortly up to third and then let the car coast again into this right-hander, gently back to the power, and once you feel comfortable, full power again to carry the maximum amount of speed through this back straight. And now get prepared for the very last sector, which is quite a tricky one as well. The next brake marker is again shortly before the 100 board on the left. Try braking in a straight line again, go down to third gear and then let the car coast gently into the corner to avoid oversteering. Down to second, gently back to the power again, and once you straighten up the car, short full power input before going to the brake again to keep it narrow, and this is important, in this left-hander, and then full to the power in second, and when turning into this right-hander up to third before hitting that power fully, and then flat out until you get to the finish line. So I would say in this challenge it's mostly about getting this car as smooth as possible through the corners and not losing you any speed. So sometimes when you're going into the corner, it's better to brake early and be fast on the exit than to be fast on the entry and just fail on the exit. That's how I lost a lot of laps, to be honest. But for those of you driving in chase cam, I'd say let's review the lap once more. So getting into your lap, position the car to the right hand side of the track to get a good entry into the first left-hander. Then go over to the left hand side, and once you have the car straight, brake at 350 meters, lay downshifts to keep the car stable while braking, down to second shortly before going up to third again and back to the power to have a good exit out of the corner. Then keep it on the left hand side, keep it narrow for this left-hander, shift up to fifth gear, and after passing this shadow, just lift the pedal, go for delayed apex on this right-hander, and once you straighten up, fully to the power again through this left-hander, next brake marker at the 400 meter board or the tree on the right-hand side. Down to second gear, keep it narrow through this right-hander and gently back to the power to avoid power oversteer. Then full power up to third gear or over to the right-hand side of the track. At the 100 board, lift the pedal, let the car coast, gently on the brake pedal to get the car some rotation, narrow to this left-hander, back to the power, to this right-hander, narrow again, straighten up, back to the brakes, down to second, narrow through this right-hander, back to the brakes again, narrow again through this left-hander and early back to the power, avoiding power oversteer. Upshift to third gear, keep it in third, the next brake marker is around the 100 meter board. Late downshift to second, car might slide a bit, so be prepared. Back to the power in second gently to avoid power oversteer, up to third. Again lift the pedal, let the car coast gently back to the power, and then full back to the power for this back straight carrying a lot of speed. Then keep it to the left hand side of the track, upshift to fourth gear, and the next brake marker again will be around the 100 meter board. Brake in a straight line, go down to third gear, go gently into the corner to not have oversteer, down to second, gently on the power, short power input before braking again, keeping it very narrow on this left-hander, then to the power in second, and when turning into this right-hander up to third, and then just flat out making it to the finish line, and hopefully getting a gold time and thereby 2 million credits in this week's challenge. And that's it again for this week's lap time challenge in the Honda S2000 on Grand Valley Highway 1. I think this week PD did a good job and gave us a great challenge. It's rather enjoyable since the rear of the car tends to slide a lot, what makes it really fun and a bit difficult, to be honest, yeah. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this one time you were able to achieve, and what you think of this challenge in general. And as usual, if this guide helped you out, I'd be happy if you leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel to not miss the next video. And then I say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.